You are listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Schulmeyer Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Schulmeyer Reed.
Hey, welcome to I'm Refocused Radio once again. We are here and we have another show lineup for y'all today. Today, we have a true honor talking to our guest today, Ingo Schulmeyer. He is a financial freedom coach, a world citizen, a 6-time Ironman, and a happy family father. He's going to talk to us today on a special topic, how to develop a winning mindset. We're going to learn a little bit about himself and all that he does. He has a website. It's thesmallreset.org. And also you can find him on YouTube at The Small Reset. So without further ado, Ingo, how you doing, man? Thank you for your time.
I'm doing great. Thanks for the invite.
So
happy to be here.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. You have a very diverse background, but you are also very successful. Kind of share with the audience a little bit about your background.
Yeah, sure. No problem. Yeah, so as you're saying, I have a very diverse background. So I'm born in Germany. I grew up in Germany, but I was traveling and I was looking for new stuff, new adventures all my life, right? So let's say the first part of my life, I worked many years in the semiconductor industry as an engineering director. And I would say I was also kind of successful, right? I made it to the director level. And yeah, I would say I had responsibility and I had good jobs and everything. But it didn't really fulfill me. And then like 3 years ago, my family and I, so I have 2 kids and I'm married. So we made a bold move. So it was during the pandemic when we were not happy with the situation anymore, also not with the school of the kids. So we decided to move to Mexico and we sold all our belongings, our house, our cars, everything basically. And we took the kids and the dogs and we took a flight to Mexico and bought a car here and traveled around and something of 9 months. So we stranded in one city that we really liked and we decided to stay here for now. So, and that's actually the phase of life in which we are now, right? So we're happy here. I built a successful online business. Meanwhile, it's a coaching business, education business especially on transformational coaching, mindset development, and this kind of stuff.
With your background in the career path you chose, how did that kind of influence your coaching programs and how you strategize working with your clients?
Yeah, I think I learned a lot from my past career because I was working a lot first of all, I had a leadership position. So I think also if you're working with clients, it's all about leading, right? So it's a different style of leading, but it's basically about connecting with people. I think that's the most important thing, actually, not only in coaching, but in all our life, right? It's how we interact with our fellows, right? With other humans and how we behave in these situations. And I think that's very important that you have the skills that you learn there. And I was also working in sales and product management. So I was working with international clients all over the world. And that's also, then there you develop also this, the sensitivity for the needs of the clients and for their feelings. So, and that's very important to connect with the people on a deeper level.
And with your education background, your master's degrees in engineering and business administration, how did that contribute to how you wanted to design your different coaching services?
Yeah, I think that's I think that's something that shapes you. Not only the education I took, but since I studied engineering, it means, of course, I'm also. If you go into such a profession like engineering, it means you're more, let's say, a logical person. So I was always very much driven by my own thoughts, or like by my logic and everything. So this is also something I learned over the years to listen more to my intuition and to develop my intuition. But I think there are different types of people, and so I'm more on the type of logical person.
Once again, talking to Ingo Schulmeyer, and you go to his website is thesmallreset.org, and on YouTube, The Small Reset. So get into today's topic, how to develop a winning mindset. We kind of have the foundation of you as a person. When it comes to you becoming that brand, becoming that CEO, that boss, the founder, building your platform, when you started to develop your business plan and pushing yourself to the next level, right? Because you used to be corporate, now you're doing your own thing. How did you start the beginning to have your own winning mindset to make that transition?
Yeah, I think the winning mindset is something I had longer. And you mentioned before, I also did a lot of, I'm an athlete, right? So I did a lot of Ironman competition, triathlon competitions. But I think that's also something that helped me in developing this winning mindset. I changed it over the years. I changed a little bit the perspective. I mean, in the past, I was very much focused on my goals and achieving the goals. And it worked also for me for many years. So I used to do that. But today I shifted a little bit. And I think that's also something very important if you're doing your own business, if you're an entrepreneur, that you're not so much focused on the goals, because if you're, especially in this entrepreneurship where not every day is the same, right? And if one day it's good, the next day can be bad. So I think it's much more important to focus on the present and on the task ahead of you. And it's also more important to celebrate progress over the result, right? So, I mean, the important thing is that we're in motion, that we're in action, right? And that we're moving towards our goal. And sometimes we will succeed and sometimes we will fail, and it's completely okay. And we need to live with that, right? Because it's just part of life.
And let's dive into that, because you being an athlete as well, you talking about succeeding. Sometimes we fail as an athlete, specifically you being an Ironman. What were some of the things that you had to get through? Because I'm sure it wasn't like you woke up one morning, you became an Ironman. This was a process. So kind of break that down for the audience.
Yeah, I mean, being an Ironman is a mindset. And if you think about it, it's not only this one day event of having an Ironman, which is usually for most people like something between 9 and 15 hours. Long day where you do swimming, cycling, and running over many miles. But you need to have this mindset also in the time before. And I think the more difficult phase is actually the preparation for that, right? If you think about the annual preparation phase, is usually 6 to 8 months before the event. You're really focused and disciplined, preparing yourself and training yourself for this event. And there's not everything good. I mean, sometimes it's just like, I come from Germany. You start training in the winter, and that means you also need to go out in the winter when there's snow. So you have to go out to cycle, to run. So you also have to go through this, and it's not always pleasant. It's cold. It can be painful. But if you have your goal in mind, so that helps you actually to get there. And I think it's this discipline that is then stronger than than your desire to in such a moment to not stay at home and stay in the cozy sofa and do what everybody else does, but to do it anyway and to go out. And there were many downs in this phase. I mean, and this career also spans over many years. And over these years, I also adapted my goals. For example, I did my first Ironman, I think in 2007 or 8. And this time the goal was just to finish, right? And I can tell you it was horrible. My first Ironman was horrible because I had problems with stomach problems after a few hours. And then you need to go to the toilet every few kilometers that you're walking. But I achieved my first goal, and then every year I raised the bar for my goals. And then finally in 2018, I made it to the World Championship in Hawaii, right? And I mean, if you would tell me that in 2007, before my first Ironman, that I will go to Hawaii one day, I wouldn't believe you, right? I would say, no, it's never possible. But that's also an example for, adapt your goals. And make them achievable. And I mean, everything is possible. You just need to adjust the time frame, and you need to stay focused.
Listen, I'm Refocus Radio, talking to our guest today, Ingo Schulmeyer. Go to his website, is thesmallreset.org, and go subscribe to his YouTube channel at The Small Reset. And for our listeners, talking about how to develop a winning mindset, I hear sometimes people talk about reverse engineer things. You, as an engineer with that background, what does that actually mean, and how does one go about that process?
You mean reverse engineer goals, or what?
Yeah, like when people make statements like, in order to find like root problems, we reverse engineer things to find the core issue.
That's a good question. So I think the most important skill for this is just like be able to observe. And there's this saying, right? The greatest human skill is if you can observe without judge. So, and this applies for technical things like in engineering, but also for other things. So if you see something, so instead of judging about something or making your own conclusions, just observe how it works and why it works. And from there you can start. And I think the key to that, to make something work, is really curiosity. So you need to be curious in things, be curious in learning everything, be curious in nature, how things work, be curious in your fellow humans, your friends and everything. So, and from there you can learn the most, just by curiosity, open curiosity. I think that's the key.
When you work with your clients, what are some of the things that you notice hold someone back from scarcity mindset to like, okay, I can actually do this, so I'm actually going to implement, something I've never done before?
Yeah, I think there are two factors that influence us, most of us, the most, right? So one is our belief set. So we all have our own belief set, which is usually, we're building that when we're small children, right? When we're very young, we start to build our beliefs and they manifest in our lives, right? They become our belief set. And this is how we see our world. And the point is, if you then reach an age that you're in adulthood, right? That you're 20, 30, 40 years old, and you all your life had these beliefs. So it's very difficult to understand that your belief set is not necessarily the truth, right? And that is that there are other beliefs that are maybe would serve you better, but they require a shift in perspective. Now, intellectually, I think most of the people can get that. It's easy to say, right? Just to think different, and everything will work out. But I think the key there is that you really need to work hard on yourself, because if you were manifesting, let's say, a limiting belief or a negative belief for 10, 20, 30 years of your life, and you always believe that, it's not taking more than one day to just say, okay, I'm changing that now. And usually you need to go back to, mentally to go back where this belief comes from and start there and work there. So it could be, for example, if we're having a negative belief about money, right? If we think, okay, for money, I need to work hard, or I need to stay in job to make money, and being rich is only for a few, and it's like money is a bad thing, or some disassociations. Usually they come from when we grow up and as children, that's how we heard our parents talk, right? That's one of the things that it's coming from. And then you need to go back in such a situation and think about them. And that requires that you usually go very deep inside your own thoughts and inside your own, inside yourself. And that's a process that takes time. It's also not always pleasant, but I think that's absolutely necessary to change beliefs and to change them to more, or to change yourself to more positive perspectives.
With this conversation, we're kind of laying out the foundations of a winning mindset. And to that, when we feel like things are going great, that's when life wants to test us the most. And when it comes to developing resilience in face of adversity, because times are going to come to challenge our beliefs and, our whys. How have you been able to navigate those situations to say, okay, I have to double down and keep remain consistent in what I'm trying to build?
Yeah, so exactly. That was actually, I wanted to mention 2 points, right? It's actually the second point to that. I think the second point is that we really need to understand our true values and our true purpose. And now again, this sounds obvious. You say, yeah, of course I know my values and everything. But I think we're, especially in the times today, we're very distracted, for example, by social media or by our friends, by other people. And there's so much noise around us, and we forget a little bit to disconnect and to connect with ourselves. And that's why I think in many cases, our values and our purpose, our beliefs is not really ours, because we adopted it from somehow, right? I mean, many people say the goal, okay, I want to build muscle, or I want to be a millionaire, or something like that. But this is just because we hear it so much that it's how a successful life looks like, right? But if this is not aligned with our true values, then it will be very difficult to achieve that. And that's why I think that's why one of the things that helped me the most, and that also I'm working on with my clients, is to disconnect and to connect with yourself and to go in yourself, listen to yourself, and try to find out what you really want and where you would really want to be. And only based on that, you can actually start to really grow. And because otherwise the resistance will just be too high to maintain that over longer periods of time.
When it comes to business, sports, and family relationships, what are some core habits that someone can observe and pay attention to, so that way they can realize, okay, I might need to put more effort in this area and, keep myself pushing forward as far as keeping a healthy lifestyle?
Yeah, I think, again, so the first thing is try to connect with yourself. I think that's the single most important. And it can be by routines like meditation, or it can be other things. I mean, I like, for example, to go for a walk. And if you go in the nature, I go with my dogs and then, but do it really present, right? Leave your phone at home and then really connect with nature and connect with yourself and do it in that way. And the other thing, I mean, about relationships, for example, or also in business, I think it's what I mentioned before, the curiosity, and also, listen to what people are actually saying, right? I mean, most people, they just listen with the intent to respond, rather with the intent to understand. And I think that's also key. So develop your listening skills, will improve your communication skills, will improve your understanding skills. And with that, it also will improve your business skills and all the other skills.
That's on Refocus Radio. Talking to our guest today, Ingo Schulmeyer. Go to his website, thesmallreset.org, and also subscribe to his YouTube channel, The Small Reset. Let's talk about the different programs that you have in your coaching services. If someone is listening to this right now and they I want to go to his website and check out some of the services, kind of break down the different kinds that you have and different levels.
Yeah, I mean, basically they're all based on transformational coaching, which means I'm not giving the people a solution, right? I mean, if you have a problem, let's say you want to start your business, or you have some, you have some limiting beliefs around money, which keep you back from being financially free. So we start working there, and it usually, again, I'm not giving predefined solutions, but we're developing usually the client's own solution. That means we will build we're building this, starting with the purpose, and we will build a strategy, what they want to achieve. And based on that, we work on all these things that we mentioned before. We work on limiting beliefs, we work on the belief system, we work on habits, and also building the strategies. And again, so once we're aligned with the purpose and with their values, so from there we can start then to have really a roadmap how we can achieve that. And I think that's very important, because many people, they have a goal. Okay, they say, okay, I want to be a millionaire, and then somehow there's certainly programs that you can achieve that. But the question is it really what they really want, and does it really make them happy? Because if it's not, as I said, it's difficult to maintain that over a long time. So for my coaching program, it's more about this transformation to get yourself into a better life and start from there. And if you change your mindset, and if you change yourself to a more positive thing, I think all the rest will fall in place, because that's, it just have to be like that, because it's, if you approach things, I really believe in that. If you approach things with the right mindset and with a positive mindset, and if you have this abundance, this belief that abundance is there and that there's enough for everybody, so you can achieve anything.
Being the owner of your brand, looking back, what are some of the things that you look back on and say, wow, like this was a mile marker that allowed me to explore and growth? And how do you use that as motivation to share with your clients?
Yeah, for me, it was actually when I started working on this, doing this education on transformational coaching and NLP. NLP is neuro-linguistic programming. And in the beginning, I started a few years ago working on that. And in the beginning, I didn't do it because I want to be a coach or something like that. I did it for myself because I thought for myself, okay, I also have my own, I have my own baggage to carry. I have my own beliefs. I have my own problems that I'm dealing with every day. And this was so powerful for me, this working on myself and also going back in the past. And I was working also with a coach at this time, asking this unpleasant questions about my past, why I behave in certain situations like that. I think that was very powerful. And I think that's the key to everything. I think you need to dig deep in your soul, in your mind, to get really to the core of your problems or of your behaviors. And I think that was very powerful for me.
I like on your channel where part of the about section, it says, we change the way you think, you choose the direction. We hear self-awareness kind of pop up on this show like all the time. But for you, how does being self-aware help you and your clients to understand where to go next?
I think that's exactly the key point to everything. I think you need to be self-aware because I think your truths you can find only in yourself. And you can read many books, you can read all the personal development and all the literature that's out there. It won't help you. The answer or your truths you will find only inside yourself. And I believe everyone needs to find their own solution and their own truths. And that's why we should start working on self-awareness. That's why I think that's the most important skill set to a purposeful and to a successful life.
Listen on Refocus Radio, talking to our guest today, Ingo Schulmeyer. You go to his website, thesmallreset.org, and subscribe to his YouTube channel, The Small Reset. We're talking about the topic, how to develop a winning mindset as we let things come to a close. Someone listening to this right now, and maybe they are working in a corporate world, or maybe they just started their business. When it comes to making that mind shift from what they used to believe to this new opportunity to grow, what's that one thing that they can start doing today just to start the process from, taking that first step?
Yeah, I think first of all, it's a journey, right? And we're all on different stages in our journey. So I think the one thing that you can always do is be present, right? And focus on the moment. And again, this can be like implement short routines, like meditations, can be 10-minute meditation in the morning, or just, become aware of the things around you, like just do things in more presence and with more consciousness. And this can be like something easy like washing the dishes, right? Instead of washing the dishes and listening to the television at the same time, or watching television at the same time, just wash the dishes and only wash the dishes and focus on the water on your hands and the soap and whatever. I mean, like just what's happening in this moment. And I think try to stop distraction. And I'm not a person that is against social media or media in general. I think we're just having that constantly throughout the day. I think that doesn't allow us to reconnect with ourselves. And I think that's a point to start with. Yeah. I mean, you could schedule phone-free times for an hour or two, something like that. Just connect with yourself and disconnect from the distraction.
You also have a podcast, The Small Reset, that people can check out themselves as well. Before we let you go, some listeners right now, is there anything you have coming up? Any future plans or events or just any news in the future for you?
There's nothing special. I mean, as you're saying, I have my YouTube, I have my podcast where we're releasing new episodes, also interviews or educational videos at least once or twice a week. And right now I don't have plans. We settled here, my plans for the future. I mean, we settled here. We said, okay, my kids are now 14 and 12, so we will stay here for the next years, at least until my kids are grown up. So they went through their teenager years. But I mean, I stay flexible. Whatever will happen, will happen. We will embrace that.
Well, once again, you can go to his website, thesmallreset.org, and also on YouTube, subscribe to The Small Reset on his YouTube and the podcast, The Small Reset. So once again, like always, I want to say to you, Ingo, thank you for your time.
Yes, thanks for the invite. It was a pleasure to be here.